What's up, everybody? Big Herc Prison Talk live stream, episode 55. Hope everybody had a good weekend and did something positive in their life. If you haven't got a chance to check out our website, please do so at www.FreshOutSeries.com. We got a lot of cool stuff on there. We got Yard Time, the drink of champions. If you want to look for something different besides coffee, grab you some Yard Time, hit a scoop or two of this in the morning, and you'll be on one. Drink of champions, Yard Time. We got it on the website. 40 servings per container. If you go onto the website and look in the commissary, it tells you everything that's in the drink. We have 3 flavors. We have orange hooch, tropical punch, and we got watermelon. So grab you some. It's worth it. You guys are gonna love it if you try it. Also, if you got any questions, make sure you hit us up at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. For everybody in the cold weather out there on the Midwest, East Coast, we got the wig splitter sweaters in stock. We got the sweaters in stock for you guys. So go to the commissary. They brand new. They just came out. We got the sweaters. Check them out. Let us know what you think and order you some. You guys trying to stay warm, get you a wig splitter sweater and you'll be right. So let us know what you think about those. We got the wig splitter and we got the wig splitter slant sweaters. So grab you one. Consulting's also jumping off if you're looking to try to chop it up about a case you're dealing with, or you have some issues you're going through and you want to holler at Big Herc one-on-one. You know, we got a small fee, but it can be done. Hit us up on the consulting side at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com and or shoot us an email at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. And if you haven't subscribed, man, hit the subscribe button. We need you guys to subscribe to support. We're going to hit that 200K real soon, and we're giving away the flat screen TV to some lucky viewer. So when we hit 200K, we're going to be doing a fat-ass giveaway. So please subscribe. Tell your people to subscribe, your friends, your family, your kids, your loved ones. Hit the subscribe button. Also, subscribe to the Instagram and Twitter. Instagram and Twitter, y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe, man. We got a lot of cool stuff. And also on Facebook, Fresh Out Series. Also, Big Herc 916. I be talking about a lot of positive shit. I'll be doing giveaways on there on YouTube and on Instagram. So make sure you guys subscribe to Big Herc 916 on YouTube, on Instagram. And I gave away a pair of shoes, but the person ain't checked in yet. So I'm about to switch it up and give them to somebody else. But I be doing giveaways all the time on Big Herc 916 Instagram and YouTube. So check it out. A lot of cool stuff going on. You know, we're making some moves. The Fresh Out shoes, we should have those up here within the next week or so for pre-orders. We're going to have the slides. We're going to have the tennis shoes, and they'll be for men and women. So, you know, you can get some for your girl, and they're not going to be no bullshit. It ain't going to be like the Big Baller brand. They're not going to be no cheap-ass tennis shoes. They're going to be quality tennis shoes. I know for you sneakerheads out there, if you watch my show on Big Herc 916, every week I do a sneakerhead video, and I talk about different shoes. I'm a big shoe guy. I've been wearing like high-end tennis shoes since I was fucking in high school. So, you know, if you're looking for some cool tennis shoes, this is going to be some shoes for you. They're not going to be cheap, but they're not going to be over expensive. They're not going to be like Balenciagas, but they're not going to be like motherfucking Jordans either. So they're going to be some shoes, because Fresh Out brand represents shoes that are, you know, luxury, hip, stylish, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they're about the come up. So if you got some Fresh Out tennis shoes on or slides, That means you're about your hustle. You're about your entrepreneurship. You stand up for yourself, and it's all positive. So, yeah, man, please support. We'll have the shoes up for pre-order here within the next week or so, and get you a pair. We look forward to, representing with the shoes and the slides, man. We're going to turn this thing up. We got a donation already from Josh and Jesus. $5. Thank you, man. Herc, how do you feel Herc, do you feel it's worth it to go to prison for assaulting one of these slow-ass drivers out here? Ha ha. Hey, man, don't go out, man. Don't split no wigs over a slow driver. It ain't worth it. I don't want to see you get in any trouble over some bullshit. So what you guys got on your mind today, man? What's cracking? A lot of shit going on in the news. I mentioned earlier on our Instagram, if you guys haven't seen it, our FreshOutSeries Instagram, Kodak Black got caught up, told on himself. Instagram, motherfucking videos. Y'all niggas with these IG videos, man, smoking weed, straps in the background, little kids in the videos. Don't you know that the po-po watches that shit? You gotta pay better attention, man. When I was growing up, man, we didn't have all this shit, so we didn't worry about all of that. You guys want to video everything, and when you video that shit and you put a Draco, you put the weed in there, or you put a kid in there, man, that's a motherfucking search warrant. They're gonna come right up in your motherfucking crib, man. So you guys gotta be on point, man. Quit doing dumb shit and be smarter than trying to film every fucking thing you do. Somebody asked me, what's my thoughts on the Kentucky shooting? Excuse me for being in the blind. I was working all day today. I didn't hear about it. What happened in Kentucky? Let me know and I'll speak on it. Big Herc, crypto all over the place. You holding, bro? Yeah, man. Crypto is fucking, it's all over, man. So I'm holding. You know what I mean? I'm holding. I'm waiting for everything to bounce back. It's part of the market. The market's going to fluctuate. It's going to correct itself. There's going to be a lot of things happening, and it's going to bounce back. You just got to be patient. You know what I'm saying? I figure, 6 months down the road, we look at the market then and see what it's doing. But if you hold, you're going to get your money back plus some. Yeah, somebody said they just don't know how to be proper gangsters anymore. I agree, man. These cats ain't really gangsters. When you on IG or Twitter and a lot of dudes be online just talking shit, it's like, damn, I never talk shit to a motherfucker through the mail. If I see you in person, I'll say it to your face, or else I'm not going to say shit. But I was always, why talk behind a motherfucking back? That's a bitch-made move. You know what I mean? If you're going to talk about somebody, do it to their face. You know what I mean? So, keep it gangster, man. Big Herc, your thoughts on the Hawaii missile alert? I know, that shit was crazy, man. 30 minutes, Hawaii was running around crazy. They didn't know if motherfucking Kim Jong Jr. had launched a motherfucking ballistic missile. Man, everybody just needs to chill out. Get rid of this bullshit, man. We don't need no motherfucking nuclear war. It ain't gonna solve nothing. War ain't gonna solve shit. You need to go to the table, figure out how we can get some motherfucking commerce jumping off. And motherfuckers over there in North Korea, they need to get laid, man. They need to start busting some cheeks up there so that they can mellow out and quit tripping off and trying to blow everybody up. If you guys agree, let me know. But they need to be busting some cheeks up in North Korea instead of trying to kill everybody, man. Get some pussy, homie. Relax. Life ain't that bad. If you open up a little bit, then you won't have to worry about motherfucking everybody tripping. You can get the embargo off your ass and start making some money. Kentucky, I guess it was a 16-year-old kid brought a gun to school and shot 16 students and 2 died. I don't understand that, man. When these little motherfuckers, man, get these pistols and they say it's gun control, but it has nothing to do with gun control because guns do not walk. Guns do not load themselves. Guns do not go into classrooms. Guns do not go into churches. Guns do not go into subways. Guns do not go into buildings. People carry the guns. It's the people, man. It's the psychological fucking mental capacity of a motherfucking person who shoots a gun that causes the fucking violence. And these kids, man, it's just, I don't know what the signs are. These little motherfuckers playing these video games, if they tired of being bullied, or if they feel they're a loner, or they're an outcast of society. But, you know, parents need to pay better attention to their motherfucking kids and watch what the hell they're doing. How, you know, where does motherfucker go get, where do you get the strap from? So, you know, that's what they need to look at. But yeah, man, it's a sad situation, you know? Sad situation. Playboy Kirby, thanks for the donation. Big Herc, what's your favorite movie or top three? Top three movies. Heat, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. True Romance, a Quentin Tarantino film. A lot of y'all probably ain't hip to that. It's some gangster shit. It's got Patricia Arquette and with Christopher Walken. A lot of people in that movie, man. True Romance is some gangster shit. And outside of that, I would say probably Wall Street. I love Michael Douglas, Gordon Gekko. He's about that money. He's a cold hustler. But I hate the fact Charlie Sheen went out on him. You know, he did that old snitch move, man, and wired himself up. Don't ever wear a wire, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever wear a wire. It ain't worth it, man. If you are in some shit, then you're gonna have to face up to it, man. You shouldn't have been doing it. Otherwise, just drop out of scene, man. You know what I mean? Don't be a sucker. Oh, I forgot. You know, as far as street, menace to society. You know, of course. But I mean, to me, the movies like the hood movies, I like more high-powered money type shit. You know, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, great movies, man. Fresh, dope-ass movie. If you ain't seen Fresh, that shit is hard. But, you know, I've always looked to the more, I guess, like higher-level gangster-type movies as far as my first movies. Somebody right here is asking me, a Koenigsegg Agera RS or Mclaren P1? Ooh, I gotta go with the Koenigsegg. If you guys aren't hip, I'm a car guy, big on cars. I go to car shows almost every week. The Koenigsegg Agera RS is a motherfucking, it's a hell of a ride. The Mclaren P1, I don't take nothing from it. But I would have to go Koenigsegg on that. Dead Presidents, another good movie, man. Another good one. It just, you know, all those movies at the end of it, man, you know, it just ends all bad, though. That's the only thing I like about Dead Presidents. Them niggas, they didn't get away with nothing, man. Even in Heat, man, at the end of the day, man, it was horrible. What else we got here? We got Pats or Eagles for the Super Bowl. Oh, man, these motherfucking Patriots, bro. Who's a Patriot fan out there? These motherfucking Patriots, how they go every fucking year, man. Every fucking year they go to the Super Bowl. And this year, I mean, fuck, they even had the referees high-fiving Brady. What the fuck is that? You know, I want the Eagles to win, but fuck, man. You'd be a damn fool to think that something ain't going on with the fucking Patriots. I know they got squad, but goddamn. Big Herc, how is cop killers treated in prison by inmates and COs? Keep up the good work. Man, like anybody else, man. I didn't run across any cop killers in prison, man. You know, I knew a motherfucker who whooped on some cops. And the cops thought, you know, they thought he was, you know, they tried to run up on, they were the dude I did time with. And, you know, I didn't know him hella close, but I knew him. And the cops thought, you know, that he was a buster. And they tried to run up. They were talking shit. And they ran up in the cell on him. And he whooped the motherfucking ass. He put hands on him. And they was like, oh, shit. But he was treated with respect. He was a quiet dude. He minded his own business. It's just that the police were fucking with him. But as far as me running across a cop killer in prison, I never ran across a cop killer. Josh Berry, thanks for the donation. Do you have a favorite book or author? Positive Energy from Pittsburgh. Hey, man, shout out to you, Pittsburgh, man. Favorite book, author? I would say the most profound book that changed my life was Conversation with God by Neil Donald Scott Walsh. That was one of the most powerful books I read. I also read a lot of Deepak Chopra, Sylvia Saint. I read a lot of spiritual books, reflective books. But that book right there, the Conversation with God series, I think really answered a lot of the questions when I was in my darkest hour, and it made life make sense to me. So, you got to just be, and there's other books. If you go to our FreshOutSeries.com, we have a list of the books, like some of my top books, and we'll be adding to that list. But check it out. I got a list of books in there that I read in prison that you can check out that helped me. Also, the 48 Laws of Power, How to Think and Grow Rich, and also, what else was really good was, I read quite a few autobiographies, I'm kind of drawing blank right now, but a lot of those really motivated me too. Somebody said, hey, Big Herc, do you have to make 6 figures to live in California? Want to move out of Ohio? What's your opinion on living in LA without making over 100K? Yeah, if you move to Sacramento, you can live out there off of probably 50K. But if you move to Los Angeles, you got to be making at least 100K. LA is very expensive. If you don't make at least that, you're gonna have to get a roommate, depending on where you live out in LA. And the thing about LA is, it just costs to live, man. Everybody's on the hustle out here, so it is a lot more expensive than Ohio. But I hope you can make it out here, bro. Big Herc, when you gonna do more spread videos? Hey, thanks for reminding me. We're working on it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get some more spread videos jumping off. I got a chef I'm trying to negotiate with right now to come in with y'all so we can do some cool shit. So as soon as I'm able to get some videos lined up, I'll be putting those together for you guys. Big Herc, you got to get the fuck out of cryptocurrency and get the fuck into Canada cannabis stock. He said cannabis stock is to make 50K. Fuck that shit. I hear you, man. I mean, I got cannabis crypto. I got cannabis stock too. I got penny cannabis stocks. So, hey, everything's a hit, and everything's basically an up and down, an ebb and flow. So, I mean, man, for the market to drop, it's gonna bounce back, man. You gotta, if you invested before, you've seen dips, and you gotta just ride it. Unless you're a trader. If you're day trading, I've already made money, pulled money out, and the money I got in right now, I'm just gonna let ride. But yeah, man, it's part of the game when you're trading and you're investing. Big Herc, when you gonna get OJ Simpson on here? Hey, man, tell Lorenthal to holler at us. What OJ say? He says, I'm not black, I'm OJ. I don't know if he want to get on here, though. You guys have a field day with OJ. Josh and Jesus, oh, thanks for another donation. Would you go on Alex Alonso's channel? Also, do folks and Crips get along in prison? Bloods and Vice Lords? I don't know about folks. I don't know what that Bloods and Vice Lords. It probably just depends on the politics of that particular prison. Crips get along with North Daniels and a lot of institutions. As far as folks, I'm not sure. It probably depends on where you're at. Same thing with Bloods. I mean, in some places, California just rides together when you're in the feds. You know what I mean? Blood and Crips. So it just depends on how things are situated. But, prison politics is a motherfucker. Have you met any Sons of Samoas? I ran across a couple. Now I can't remember offhand, but there was a couple of Samoan cats. There wasn't a whole lot where I was at. A few here and there, but I was always cool with them. I was cool with a lot of Samoan cats and a lot of the cats from Hawaii. But none offhand, I can't really say that I knew anybody from SOS. Somebody said, Big Herc, I recommend watching Blood In, Blood Out. I seen that a long time ago, man. Blood In, Blood Out. You know, I don't really like watching prison movies, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I do this show because I keep it real, and I don't try to falsify and glorify shit. But those fucking movies, man, it's so low mentality, man. Why do you want to trip off of like joining something you can't get out? You don't even make no fucking money. I don't really, those movies, I can't get into them no more. I don't have that mind frame to enjoy living at such a low level of life. You know what I mean? It just ain't my thing, man. Somebody said, Big Herc, what up? Can you talk about Charles Manson and how he was treated? And do you know about Scott Peterson's case? Shout out from Fresno. Don't know much about Charles Manson. I heard he was locked down. Majority of the time he was down. It wasn't like he was no high-powered, run around calling shot type dude from what I heard. I never did time in the state with him. I never crossed his path. As far as Scott Peterson's case, that was convicted of killing his wife, I don't know his case in depth, so I can't speak on it. And I know he's doing time in the state. I did time in the feds. Somebody said, have you met members from Black Guerrilla Family? Are they allies with other black gangs like Bloods, Crips, GDs? Have you met members from the Mexican Mafia? Are they allies? Are they allies with something? I can't find it now. But no, I didn't run across any BGF cats, man. Not in the feds. That's in the California state system. As far as who they align themselves with, that's the politics of the prison. I can't really speak on things I don't know. A lot of dudes want to talk about shit and they be lying. I'm not going to be on here lying for y'all, so I can't speak on it. I haven't met anybody from the MA, from the Mexican Mafia. And as far as you said, do they get along with Norteños? No. That's, Southsiders and Serranos is on one end, and the Norteños and La Familia is on another end. So that's how that goes. Big Herc, did you watch Oz? No, I didn't watch Oz. That shit was going on when I was in prison, so I never watched Oz, man. I never wanted to watch a show about prison when I was in prison. I hated being in prison, and I just tried to keep my mind out of prison as much as possible, even though I was physically locked up. Can you explain the Paisas? Who are they? Now, the Paisas are the Mexicans from Mexico that still claim Mexico. So they're in the United States, but they still claim basically Mexico as far as Jalisco or Mexico City or, whatever little small town that they're from, that's what they're clicked up with. And so all the guys who are here, a lot of them for legal deportation, they're this claim Paisa. And then you got different cliques like Border Brothers, which is separate from Paisa. Then you got AZ Boys, which is like Mexican from Arizona. And then you got like Texas Syndicate. You got just different, all type of different cliques within the Mexican race that are in prison that are considered prison cliques, prison gangs. They're separate from Norteños. They're separate from Serranos, separate from Southsiders. They got their own car. So, it's just all prison shit, and it's a separation of Mexicans within prison, in the prison system, as far as what they claim. What's my opinion on Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson's a shit. You know what I mean? I always look up to Mike. I see Mike at a gym in Vegas, man, working out. Mike Tyson's a shit, man. You know what I mean? He went through a lot of shit. He overcame a lot of adversity. And he doesn't look back at his losses, and he still goes forward in life, man. Mike Tyson's constantly redefining himself. Much props to that man. I hope I can one day get him on the show. Mike Tyson's, one of the greatest boxers of all time. Big Herc, is there tension in the feds with Cali and DC dudes? Saw an interview that stated that everybody I know they got along and made allies. The Cali and DC dudes, I ain't never really seen any tension. I was cool with a lot of dudes from DC. Shout out to dudes from DC, man. I was cool with a lot of cats from there, man, because the way I carried myself. A lot of times in the feds, East Coast, West Coast got their own cliques. It's a lot of politics, bullshit. But the dudes I knew from DC were straight. We studied a law together. Dudes from DC, I used to fuck with them in a law library as far as showing me how to shepherdize cases and shit like that. But I ain't never really seen tension among them and the other cliques. I just know that DC dudes, they have a tight ship and they handle their business up in the pen. Somebody says, how large is Yakuza presence in California? Don't know nothing about the Yakuza in Cali. Interview Big Trade E, man. I'm trying to get Trade E on here. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get him on here, man. But I got to get a line on him. I'm trying to get a line on him so I can get him on the show, man. And you know what I'm saying? I would love to get Trade E from the East Siders on here. Tony Lewis Lompoc. Tony Lewis Lompoc. I don't know what that means. If he was at Lompoc, I don't know if I was there in 2000 and 2003. Big Herc, my dad is in the feds and gets transferred 2 to 3 times a year. Is this normal? Yeah, man. 2 to 3 times a year? Oh, I thought you meant 2 to 3 times every 2 to 3 years. Nah, 2 to 3 times a year is something. He must be high powered or something, man. They must when they're transferring somebody like that 2 to 3 times a year, that's pretty much unheard of unless they feel that this person has strong ties to the streets or they're trying to somehow disciplinary this person by not letting him get settled into any particular institution so he can't make friends. But I've never heard of that, man. I've never seen somebody get transferred 2 to 3 times a year in the feds. Usually in the feds you get transferred every 2 to 3 years. Somebody wants to know my thoughts on Rich Piana. I have no thoughts on Rich. I knew him for a long time, and we had a few differences in between our friendship because of motherfuckers hating, and then we got cool before he passed away, and I travel with the dude. I've met his family. He's met my family. You know what I mean? And a lot of motherfuckers just was around him to try to get just use them, dude, use them. So I was cool with him. I never asked him for shit, but yeah, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Rich Piana, but I don't want to exploit his loss of life. Would you interview the Aryan Brotherhood? Yeah, I interview Aryan Brotherhood. I have no problem interviewing anybody. So if there's somebody from the Aryan Brotherhood that wants to tell their story, they can come on the show. Hit us up at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. We down to interview anybody. We want to get the truth from the individual or, their viewpoint. I'm not going to, like I said, speak on shit and talk about things I haven't done. And there's a lot of stuff I'm not familiar with. So somebody said we should interview Cody, the LA gangster. Yeah, I would love to get Cody too. I don't have a line on Cody from A-Trey. If he's watching though, hey man, hit us up about getting on the show. P. Lewis 415, thanks for the donation. What's up, Big Herc? Paul from SF Bay Area. What's your work routine like? What is your favorite or least favorite workout? Any cardio? Right now, all I'm doing is cardio. I do 40 minutes a day. When I'm working out, when I can lift weights, I do at least 30 to 40 minutes of cardio. I do about 40 minutes of weights. I got some bags in the garage. Sometimes I do the speed bag or a jump rope. Just for coordination. And when I come back, I'm going to start doing a lot more core. But I work out 5 days a week and usually take off weekends so I can enjoy some personal time. But yeah, I keep my workouts militant. I want you to be someone. Yo, Herc, is the auction still going for the chair? Herc, anytime you want to come to Mexico City, you got a place. Oh, thanks, man. Good looking, man. Appreciate that. Somebody said, do you go on runs? Got to get that endurance. You know, I don't go on a lot of runs, but I do the stairs, and the stairs are the motherfucking hell of a workout. And I like to go hiking, so you know, if need be, I gotta get somewhere and go. I can you know, hike my ass somewhere. But I love the you know, there's a lot of hiking trails out here in LA. Herc, how do you maintain such high level of respect for your other human beings in this world? Because I operate on a different frequency than a lot of. I try to operate at a higher vibrational pattern than the average person. You got a lot of motherfuckers in life, man. When you start doing things that are positive, they're gonna hate on you. They're gonna say negative shit. They're gonna troll, and those are the people who basically operate almost at the same level as a cockroach. You know, they have no sense of self. They don't even want to congratulate another person when they're doing well because they're such negative human beings. And a lot of those people who troll, who don't want you to do well in life, they probably got butt plugs. I'm just telling you right now, they got butt plugs in their butts. And they walk around with the butt plug, so when they fart, it jiggles their butt. And that's why they're miserable, because their butt is plugged up. If they took the butt plug out their butts and read some books on spirituality, they could be a lot more positive too. So that's the problem with a lot of the people who are just negative, man. But if you want to be positive, you got to just separate yourself from the negative bullshit and just get around people who are going places. Big Herc, what kind of blinky did you carry? What was it made out of? Blinky, number two pencil, sharpened up in the boot. And as far as the biggest blinky I've seen, the homie had one. It was probably about like that big, and it was made out of like fiberglass, melted, sharpened down. It was like an icicle. That motherfucker, man, it didn't go off at a metal detector, and if you juke somebody with it, it was a wrap. Straight icicle, blinky. That motherfucker would put a hole up in you and keep it pushing. Big Herc, who was the most gang to get attacked in prison? There was no gang that was singled out when I did time. Every gang had their own thing going on. But let me tell you something in prison, man. You're not going around. You're not trying to know about everything happening. So if the Paisas got something going on, I'm not a Paisa. I'm not in their business. I'm not a Southsider, so I'm not in their business. So when you got these guys on here talking about they knew about what the Serranos was doing or what the Norteños was doing, they full of shit. Because if you're a gossiper and you're in everybody's business in prison, you're gonna get your motherfucking wig split. So motherfuckers, if I'm black and I say I know something about the Aryan Brotherhood, I'm lying like you're lying. If you're a white guy, you say you know about the Crips. Unless you're a Crip, you're lying. Because you ain't in their business. Them niggas is not having you in their business. So when people be gossiping about other cliques, them niggas is bitches and they don't know what they're talking about. I didn't know what the Paisas or the other gangs was doing. I knew cats from DC. I knew GDs. I knew Crips. I knew Bloods. I knew Serranos. I knew Norteños. I knew some motherfuckers that was down with the white boys. But you know why? Because I did legal work. So a lot of these cats hollered at me, man, on some business shit. But if you wasn't on no business shit, them motherfuckers was not going to be talking to you. You was not going to talk to no Serrano if you were black. You were not going to talk to no AB or no the white boys, or you weren't going to fuck with the Paisas. See, I had Mexican partners in there, so the Serranos would holler, and then we'd, converse through them. I had people that was, basically neutral, and they would talk to me because, hey, they knew I was a smart motherfucker in there. So that's how I was able to talk to a lot of different races. But the average person, you're not talking to everybody. White dude is not kicking it with a black dude like that unless you got the respect of other people and they allow you to do that shit. So when people say that shit, they be lying. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with everybody, though. I had Asian partners in there, too. I had a study group. It was a white guy, a mixed guy. He was black and white. I had a Korean guy in my group. I had a black guy in my group, a Belizean guy in my group. I had a lot of people, man. I was one of the few people in the feds that had multi-race clique, and I was respected at every institution I went to. It's all about how you carry it. Josh and Jesus, what's up, man? Thanks for another donation. Which city gang wars do you think are worse, Chicago or LA, in your opinion? Man, I don't know. I haven't been to Chicago. I can't say. LA, you know what I'm saying? LA's got its issues. You know, go to Oakland. Oakland got it cracking. Go to Sacramento. Them niggas out there will clap that ass. You know, go to motherfucking Louisiana. It's everywhere, man. I mean, I don't really have an opinion about the gang wars because that shit it's not my frequency. I'm operating on Bill Gates shit. I'm up here. I'm trying to this will let you know that I went to prison and I was around this frequency down here, but I'm operating on this frequency while I'm out now. I'm trying to bring you guys up so that you guys don't go to prison and share my experiences so that I can advise some of these other youngsters so they don't get caught up. But you don't want to be operating down here. All that shit, you don't want to be hanging out in the hood in Compton and over there in South Central and trying to be a man. Nah, put your ass in the go to a place in Santa Monica and do some business shit. Look for positive. Don't look for gang activity, because you can go find gang activity in any city. Kentucky, Alabama, Chicago, New York. You can find it everywhere, man. So operate on a higher frequency. But I try not to even concern myself with gang activity. If anything, I want to talk to those guys so I can try to elevate some of them so we can do something positive. Samuel Adams, thanks for the donation. Big Herc, I have a brother doing 43 years for murder. He's constantly in the hole. What could he possibly be doing? He calls me 1 or 2 times a year. He tells me he's about to get in some shit. Man, your brother's probably in there. If he's doing 47 years, homie, he's probably a rider. He's probably in there. When he gets out the hole, he probably splits some motherfucking wigs. He might be a hitter for some clique in there or something. Because if he's getting into shit like that, he's putting in work. And they got him under watch. So whenever he comes out the hole, he's probably on like a probationary period. But yeah, man, sorry to hear you got all that time. But he's probably at this point, if he's in there all the time, he's probably he's putting in some work. He's doing something, man. Would you do a documentary? Yeah, I do a documentary. You know what I mean? About what I've been through in my life, man. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's a lot of other people with stuff that might be more exciting than what I talk about. But as far as it being the real or the truth, hey, man, I can't speak on that. But I know that what I keep it real, and I try to get other people on here to share stories from their side point of view so that you can hear from them. But I don't try to put any extras on it. Big Herc, where's the Fifi tutorial video? As promised. There's the Fifi video. I mean, I ain't gonna make it Fifi. You know, I did a video talking about Fifis. It's on the Prison Talks, and if you don't know what a Fifi is, it's basically a prison pussy, fake pussy, towel with a plastic glove wrapped up with rubber bands and Vaseline inside that motherfucker. But that's a prison pussy, Fifi. Look it up, Prison Talk Fifi video. Big Herc, you trying to make any movies? Legit. You know, our goal right now is basically to take Fresh Out to a network. We want to really push this thing on Netflix or Amazon, Amazon or Hulu or one of the big networks, man. We're gonna get it out there. The show is gonna be popping eventually, and bring it to a whole nother level, man. We got like a whole nother phase we want to do with the interviews, and then we're gonna branch out with some other stuff. So stay tuned for that, and you guys keep supporting. Marcus, okay, I'll check your raps out. Shoot us an email at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. If you're a rapper, entertainer, If you're an artist, we got the Back on Your Feet program. Hit us up, and we got a rev sharing program for whatever it is you're trying to hustle. The thing is, you guys got to also promote your product. We can't expect your product to sell if you don't promote it on your own social media. So, push your shit. We'll post it up, man, and let's just get this hustle on. Broke Nigga Review, thanks for the donation. What's the most ruthless LA gang in your opinion? I don't really know, man. I mean, there's a lot of motherfuckers who are ruthless out here in LA. And a lot of them you never even heard of. I mean, you got, everybody want to say Crips and Bloods, but you got motherfuckers, these Russian gangsters out here. You got some Armenians that'll split your motherfucking wig. I mean, you got a lot of motherfuckers out here. Some Asian cliques that ain't fucking around. I know some motherfuckers down in Orange County and from Westminster and Garden Grove that'll bust your motherfucking head. And they don't even look, they ain't gotta look like they're menacing. They'll just do it. You know what I mean? So, there's a lot of gangs out here in LA, man, and cliques that handle the business, man. I can't say who's the toughest. Fade the Black, thanks for the donation. What are your thoughts on ADC Florence? Thank you for your time. ADC Florence, ADX. I don't have an opinion really, man. I've never been there. I heard it's fucked up. They treat you like an animal. I mean, if you've been labeled a public enemy and you're a high-power criminal, they send you there, and basically your rights are basically very, very limited, and you just treat it like you're not human no more, and I don't know how they go about, judging a person to give him that type of sentence for his time, but yeah, ADX is fucked up. Big Herc, my cousin just got out of jail and is real cut like Usain Bolt. How did he get like that in prison? In prison, man, you work out every day. Motherfuckers on the street don't take the time to go work out, to exercise. But when you're in prison, that's all you have. So you might run part of the day, you do bar work part of the day, and you sleep. So all you're doing is working out and sleeping. And, motherfuckers are watching TV or they're studying. So you don't have to go to a job. And if you're working out like that, you're eventually going to just get ripped because you're so consistent. So a lot of those guys are just working out consistently in there. And even though the food is shit, they're still getting in shape because of just how hard they're working out, working out all that frustration, anxiety, Herc, who is your current role model? My current role model, I don't know, man. I don't really have, as far as a role model since I've been out, as far as somebody I'm trying to emulate. I haven't found a mentor on the street yet that I've been able to really, relate to. As far as a role model, I don't know. I try to look for positive things on, positive people when I look for like different videos on YouTube. People who aren't like cocky or overly egotistical. But I don't really have a role model right now that I'm following in particular. I just try to stay grounded and watch, different videos that are motivational, inspirational, and that are humbling. Because the key to life is always staying humble, man. You gotta, as long as you're humble, good things will come to you and people will show you love. But as soon as you think that you know it all and that you're better than somebody, you're gonna get your wig split. Playboy Kirby, thanks for the $2. Yeah, somebody said like Trump. Who was someone I looked up to as a child? Growing up as a child, I think I looked up to, I used to want to be a race car driver. I used to watch a lot of car racing. Back then, I think it was NASCAR or Indy with Fittipaldi and Mario Andretti. I used to always want to race cars. I had a bunch of cars. I used to play with cars a lot. I didn't have a father figure, so I didn't have a male figure as far as I looked up to. Never had one growing up. You know what I mean? My stepdad was a piece of shit. The other males in my family, it wasn't like I really had a lot to relate to as far as with them, because there was nothing I really inspired through them. So, yeah, man, I think that makes a big difference in a kid's mental development and how he looks at life. But I didn't really have looking back, man, I didn't really have a male role model, man. I didn't have a growing up. Pretty sad. Big, what did it say? Somebody said I used to be a porn star. Yeah. Big Herc, how do you move out of a homeless shelter? I was in the halfway house, which can be considered similar to a homeless shelter. And how I got out of there was I got a job while I was there, and they wanted 25% of whatever I made. So they were still pimping me while I was in the halfway house. And I wasn't making a lot of money, maybe $10 an hour. But I saved my little money. I paid their ass off. And when I moved out, I was able to move in with somebody who didn't charge me rent for probably 4 months, 4 or 5 months. And I saved enough money when I went from staying with that person, and I rented a room. I rented a room for like 6 months, and then I got an apartment. So everybody needs help. If you're homeless, or you're in a halfway house and you don't have like rich family members that are gonna help you out, or they even have to be rich, because it doesn't take a rich person to help a poor person. It just takes a person to care. But you gotta have that transition. But yeah, I made it was a 3-part process. Going from the halfway house, getting a job, moving in with somebody, not paying rent for a minute, getting on my feet, renting a room, and then from a room getting an apartment. Keith Duff, thanks for the $5, man. Is the phrase busting cheeks something that a particular gang says, or is said in a particular prison? How popular is it overall? Did you coin it? Busting cheeks, you guys. I coined that as it's just a slang saying. It doesn't mean that you're actually having sex with another man in the ass. It doesn't mean that you're busting a man. That busting cheeks would mean like, man, I'm busting cheeks. That means that you fucking a lot of women. You know what I mean? You laying down pipe. You know what I mean? You're a player. It could be, or if you on some booty time, it could be that all. Man, that nigga, he a cheek buster. If a motherfucker calls a motherfucker a cheek buster in prison, you know that he's on some booty time. So it can have multiple meanings, but it's just a phrase I coined. It's entertaining, and it doesn't mean that everybody in prison is busting cheeks. It's just a fun word that we use at Fresh Out. You know what I mean? But anyways, you guys, it's been fun. It's going on 50 minutes. I got to wrap this shit up. So I'm going to do the shout-outs real quick and get up out of here, because I got shit to do, moves to make, and it's getting late. So what's up with y'all? Let's get the shout-outs in. Hector Cortez, thanks for the donation. Will you ever do a Q&A video with your wife? Do you have kids or want kids in the future? That's a possibility, man. Hey, you guys, we're working on getting a podcast going. So when we get the podcast going, we're gonna have guests on there, and maybe one of the guests I have on there will be my wife in the future. She has a daughter. It's my stepdaughter. I don't have any kids per se biological. Maybe one day I'll adopt or something like that. I mean, I love kids. I think kids are the future, and I would love to be able to share my life experience with some child that's less fortunate. So shout out to Houston, Texas. Shout out to Mexico City. Shout out to Harlem. Shout out to San Bernardino. Shout out to San Pedro. Shout out to Fresno. Shout out to Westminster. Shout out to Sean Ramasher from Boston, Massachusetts. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Eastside Long Beach. Shout out to Aledo, Texas. Shout out to Oahu, Hawaii. Shout out to Sacktown, Free Kodak Black. Shout out to Pennsylvania. Shout out to Alabama. Shout out to DC. Shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to New York. Shout out to Texas. Shout out to the Pats in Boston. Them damn Patriots. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Miami. Shout out to Idaho. Genosha Island. Shout out to West Covina. Shout out to New Zealand. Shout out to Greece. Shout out to San Jose. Frisco. Shout out to Milwaukee. North Idaho. Shout out to ATL. 916 Sacramento. East Oakland. Fort Worth. Australia. Compton. California 626. Shout out to Cell 42 USP. Shout out to, all right, Chino, California. Shout out to LBC, Baltimore, 49ers SF, North Korea, Maryland, hey man, Greece, Michigan, everybody out there who's tuned in, man. Hey man, shout out to y'all, man. Much love. Shout out to Japan, Canada, Mississippi, North Hollywood, hey man, Dover, everybody, man. Tune in next week. Subscribe to our Instagram, our Twitter, FreshOutSeries, and also hit the subscribe button. See y'all next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. California time. I'm out.